Hi, myself Pooja Bak, Assistant Professor of GKCM of GIS Group, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Here you will find the details of my contact information, and I have developed a Facebook page where regular updates regarding this course are available time to time. Hello everyone. Here in this session, I will be going to explain Quadrature Amplitude Modulation, QAM, QAM. So, what is quadrature amplitude modulation? So, basically, QAM is a signal in which two carriers shifted in phase by 90 degrees, such that sine and cosine are modulated and combined. So, QAM is a signal in which two carriers shifted in phase by 90 degrees in sine and cosine are modulated and combined. As a result of their 90-degree phase difference, they are in quadrature, and this gives rise to the name. Often, one signal is called the in phase of I signal, and the other is the quadrature or Q signal. So basically, QAM is a signal in which two carriers shifted in phase by 90 degrees, such that sine and the cosine are modulated and combined, and as a result of their 90-degree phase difference, they are in quadrature, and this gives rise to the name. Often a signal is called the in phase, which is denoted by I signal, and the other signal which is in quadrature or Q signal. So this is our I signal, and this is our quadrature Q signal. I signal means in phase and Q signal is quadrature. So the resultant overall signal consisting of the combination of both I and Q carriers contains of both amplitude and phase variations. So in view of the fact that both amplitude and phase variations are present, it may also be considered as a mixture of amplitude and phase modulation. So the resultant signal consisting of the combination of both I and Q, it means both amplitude and phase variations. Okay. Now let's see the diagram of transmitter part. So this is the block diagram of quadrature amplitude modulation of transmitter part. So see, when we talk about QAM, it has two carrier signal which are there in quadrature phase. So see, as per the name carrier signal, so let us see, we have carrier signal that is CT, and which is A cos omega CT. So A cos omega CT, this is our carrier signal, and this is what we are translating into quadrature phase. Now see how to translate that in quadrature phase. So that we can translate into quadrature phase, over here A cos omega CT, because the carrier signal is here A cos omega CT. So if I add 90-degree phase, in that case over here my phase will be A sin omega CT, because of 90-degree phase shift is being provided. So that's why it will be A sin omega ct. So now see, here in QAM we have two signals over here. Let us say x1t and x2t. And that signal that we give it over here to the product modulator. Now as we give these two product modulator, you will be finding at this side there will be DSBSC output, double sideband suppressed carrier. So as we give these two product modulator, you will be finding DSBSC output, which means double sideband suppressed carrier, and you will be combine these. So you will add both of these signal, and my resulting signal that will be ST. So in QAM we have two signals, x1t and x2t, and that signal we give it over here to the product modulator. And now as we give these two product modulator, you will be finding a DSBSC output, which means double sideband suppressed carrier output, and you will be combine this. So you will add both of this signal, and the resulting signal that will be ST. So that is what we deal it to in transmitter part. Now first thing that is we need to understand what is this DSBSC output. So that is just a multiplication of inputs as per product modulator. So first DSBSC output, that will be x1t A cos omega ct, and second DSBSC output, that is x2t A sin omega ct, and this is just an adder, so we will add it. So ST will be addition of this two. So here output ST will be x1t A cos omega ct plus x2t A sin omega ct. So the first DSBSC output is x1t A cos omega ct, and the second DSBSC output, that is x2t A sin omega ct, and there is an adder, so we will add it. So ST will be addition of these two. So output ST will be x1t A cos omega ct plus x2t A sin omega ct. Okay. Now see, this is what analog modulation type of diagram. But when it comes to digital, at that time we will be having digital to analog converter at input side. So when it comes to digital, that time we will be having digital to analog converter DAC DAC at input side, and that will represent amplitude of x1t and x2t, and that is what we give it to product modulator, and we will do same thing. So like see here, if we have digital data, then first we will convert into serial to parallel. So serial to parallel converter is there, and after that, once we have serial to parallel conversion, there will be digital to analog converter, and that is what we will give it as X1T and X2T. So at first we have digital data, then first we'll convert into serial to parallel. So serial to parallel converter is there, and after that we have serial to parallel conversion, and after that there will be digital to analog converter. That is what we will give it as X1T and X2T. So in digital modulation, this is what the difference which we do. So first digital data that we convert into parallel, and then digital to analog converter, the data that we give it over here. So that is what the case which we do it in digital communication. Okay. So now this is our transmitted data. So ST equal to, we know, X1T A cos omega CT plus X2T into A sin omega CT. And you can observe over a same channel we are utilizing bandwidth effectively. So here we occupy very less bandwidth. And in DSBSC bandwidth which is FM. But here 2 DSBSC signal, and that we are transmitting over a same channel. So here optimized utilization of bandwidth. So now this is what transmitted signal, that is ST. Now let us see what will happen at receiver side. So let's see the receiver part. So here we have received signal ST. Now this received signal will again give it to product modulator. And product modulator's second input, that is carrier signal, which is again quadrature in phase. So here we have one product modulator, and here we have another product modulator. So there are two product modulators, and we have a carrier signal generated over here, cos omega CT, and one is directly given it here, and second is given after 90 degree phase shift. So this will be sin omega CT, and over here it will be cos omega CT. Okay, so there are two product modulators. So our received signal ST, which goes to the product modulator, and the product modulator's second input, that is carrier signal, which is again quadrature in phase. So we have a carrier signal generated over here, that is cos omega CT, and which is directly giving it over here, and the second is given after 90 degree phase shift. So this will be sin omega CT, because after 90 degree phase shift the cos omega CT will be sin omega CT. And And as per this product modulation, this is generating y1 dash t and this is generating y2 dash t. And after that, we will pass this through low pass filter. So over here, you will be finding y1 t equal to 1 by 2 into ax1 t, and over here you will be finding y2 t equal to 1 by 2 ax2 t. Now let us try to understand how that is coming. So y1 dash t equal to st into cos omega ct, right? y1 dash t equal to st into cos omega ct. And we know the st. What is st? St is x1t a cos omega ct plus x2t a sin omega ct. So now put this value of st. So y1 dash t will be x1t a cos omega ct plus x2t a sin omega ct into cos omega ct, because we put this value of st. So after simplify this, it will be x1t a cos square omega ct plus x2t into a sin omega ct into cos omega ct, because this cos omega ct will be multiplied with this. Now we know the formula of cos square theta. So what is the formula of cos square theta? Cos square theta equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay. So here a cos square omega ct. So here cos square omega ct is present. So in that case, we are applying this formula of cos square theta. Okay. So it will be x1t into a cos square omega ct means 1 plus cos 2 omega ct divided by 2, because the formula is cos square theta equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So cos square omega ct will be 1 plus cos 2 omega ct divided by 2. And here sin omega ct and cos omega ct is present. And we know the formula of sin 2a. Sin 2a equal to 2 sin a into cos a. So here sin a cos a is present. It means here sin omega ct and cos omega ct is present. So in that case, we are multiplying by 2 and also dividing by 2 for adjusting this formula of sin 2a. So it will be x2t into a by 2 into 2 sin omega ct cos omega ct. So 2 sin omega ct into cos omega ct, that will be sin 2 omega ct. So it will be x2t a by 2 sin 2 omega ct using this formula. So the equation is now x1t into a into 1 plus cos 2 omega ct by 2 plus x2t into a by 2 into sin 2 omega ct. So now after solving this, y1 dash t equal to x1t a by 2 plus x1t a by 2 into cos omega ct, because we are multiplying this x1t into a with this, so it will be x1t into a by 2 plus x1t into a by 2 into cos omega 2 ct, cos 2 omega ct, and plus x2t a by 2 sin 2 omega ct. So that is y dash t over here, y1 dash t over here. So this is our y1 dash t. Now let's see for y2 dash t. So now when you pass this through low pass filter, you will be eliminating the high frequency components. Okay. So here we get the value of y1 dash t. But when you pass this through low pass filter, you will be eliminating high frequency components. So you will be eliminate this component as well as this component. So once you pass it through low pass filter, so after low pass filter it will be y1t equal to x1t into a by 2, because when you pass this through low pass filter, then high frequency component will be eliminated. So after that it will be x1t into a by 2, which is y1t. And the same thing that we can have it for y2t. So y2t will be x2t into a by 2. Okay. So this is our y1t and this is our y2t. So okay, now let us draw for QAM. So I will draw the QAM pattern over here. So this is what in phase, which is denoted by I, and this is what in quadrature, which is denoted by Q. Now, first we will plot 4 QAM, that is having constellation point over here, and here, because we will plot 4 QAM, so that's why there are constellation points. So this is 0, 0, this is 0, 1, and this is 1, 1, and this is 1, 0. And that is how 2 bits are representing one constellation point. But if you observe this diagram to 4 QAM and 4 PSK, if you observe this diagram for 4 QAM and 4 PSK, that will be same. And sometimes you are getting confused, what is the difference? So to understand the difference between PSK and QAM, so now let me draw the 16 QAM diagram. So it will be more clear. So this is the 16 QAM diagram. And those constellation points, that will be like this. So this is how QAM is there. And there is 16 QAM diagram and those are the constellation point, where you can see with respect to center, the distance is amplitude. So here amplitude is changing as well as phase is changing. So in this we can say this is what a combination of amplitude shift keying and phase shift keying, because in 16 QAM those are the constellation point, and you can see with respect to the center point, the center distance is amplitude. So from the center to the constellation point is amplitude. So here amplitude is changing, so as well as phase is changing. So in this we can say this is what a combination of amplitude shift keying and phase shift keying. So while for 4 QAM you can see with respect to center distance is same. So there is nothing which is done for amplitude shift keying where amplitude is constant, because in 4 QAM there are 4 constellation point 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, and with respect to center distance is same. So there is nothing change. So it means amplitude is constant here. But for 16 QAM, one can say it is a combination of amplitude. You can see. So there are 3 basic different levels like this distance that gives of 1 amplitude levels. Basically there are the 16 QAMs, and from center to the constellation point there are the difference distance. So the amplitude is changing here as well as phase is changing here, and you can see there are 3 different levels like this distance that gives idea of 1 amplitude level, this distance that gives you idea of another amplitude level, and the third amplitude level, that is this distance. So that is how different amplitude is there, and phase that is different for all. So this is all about quadrature amplitude modulation. So in this video lecture I have discussed what is quadrature amplitude modulation and its transmitter block diagram for analog part. If it is digital, then how to draw the transmitter block, and after that the receiver part of QAM, and now there is a QAM pattern over here. So this is all about quadrature amplitude modulation. So I hope that you have understood this session, and thank you so much for watching this video.